In every corner of Europe, cities hum with stories, ancient and modern, quiet and grand. From timeless cobblestone alleys to sleek, forward-looking skylines, this continent offers more than just travel. It offers perspective. As 2025 unfolds, new light falls on old streets. Cultural renaissances bloom, eco-innovations redefine how we explore, and hidden gems rise to the surface. For the curious traveler, it's a year of rediscovery, of wandering slowly, savoring deeply, and connecting more meaningfully. These aren't just cities. They're invitations to pause, to wander, to be moved. This is your journey through the top 10 cities in Europe to visit in 2025. Let's begin where calm rivers meet poetic charm, in the green heart of Slovenia. Destination 1. Ljubljana, Slovenia. There's a place where dragons guard bridges, where cafe tables spill onto quiet cobbled streets, and where every turn feels like stepping into a fairy tale that forgot to end. That place is Ljubljana, Slovenia's enchanting capital, and one of Europe's most underrated urban escapes. Tucked between the Alps and the Adriatic, Ljubljana is small in size, but immense in soul. Influenced by Roman history, Austro-Hungarian elegance, and Balkan warmth, this city carries centuries of culture with a light, joyful step. Its name, derived from the word Ljubljana, beloved, could not be more fitting. What sets Ljubljana apart is its embrace of serenity. The emerald Ljubljana River flows through a car-free city center, its banks lined with leafy promenades and pastel facades. Spend a morning exploring the open-air Central Market, designed by József Plečnik, the city's famed architect whose influence is felt everywhere. Wander the charming lanes of the Old Town, or take a slow boat ride under the Dragon Bridge. In 2025, Ljubljana continues its legacy as one of Europe's greenest capitals. New bike share expansions and solar-powered ferries make it easier than ever to explore sustainably. And the city's vibrant calendar of summer festivals, from jazz to poetry to culinary arts, promises more soul than ever before. Ljubljana isn't just a destination. It's a feeling of calm, of curiosity, of beauty that whispers rather than shouts. And in 2025, it's calling. Destination 2, Porto, Portugal. Some cities speak in whispers, others in song. And then there are cities like Porto, where every breeze carries a melody, every stone feels storied, and the light itself seems to dance on tiled facades and river waves. Perched along the banks of the Douro River in northern Portugal, Porto is the soulful sister to Lisbon, more intimate, more weathered, and every bit as magical. Its heritage runs deep, from Roman foundations to medieval alleyways and Baroque churches that rise proudly against Atlantic skies. The city is a cascading puzzle of orange rooftops and narrow staircases, of azulejo-covered walls that shimmer in the sun. The Ribeira district, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, spills down to the river, where boats bob gently beside cafes that seem frozen in time. Across the iconic Dom Luís I Bridge, the port wine cellars of Vila Nova de Gaia rest in warm shadow, aging the spirit that bears the city's name. Begin your journey with a walk along the riverfront, where the smell of grilled sardines and baked custard mingles with salt air. Cross the bridge on foot at sunset, the golden hour turning the city into a painting. And don't leave without visiting Livraria Lello, one of the world's most beautiful bookstores. In 2025, Porto is blooming with fresh energy. A new cultural quarter has opened near the Palacio de Cristal Gardens, blending contemporary art with green design. And the Douro River now offers an enhanced ferry experience, a slow journey through vineyard country, with curated tastings from boutique winemakers along the way. Porto is a city to sip, not rush. A place where you let the rhythm of the river carry you, and the soul of Portugal quietly finds its way into your heart. Destination 3, Krakow, Poland. Some cities glow with elegance, others with resilience. And then there is Krakow, a city that does both. It carries its history not as a burden, but as a deep and beautiful breath, layered into every square, every stone, every silence. Located in southern Poland along the Vistula River, Krakow is a former royal capital, a city that has witnessed both triumph and tragedy and emerged with an enduring grace. Gothic towers rise beside Renaissance facades, while quiet courtyards open unexpectedly from narrow alleys. Visually, Krakow is defined by contrast, the grandeur of Wawel Castle against the intimacy of its candlelit cafes, the symmetry of medieval town planning softened by flower stalls and church bells. At its heart lies Rynek Glony, the largest medieval square in Europe, where horse-drawn carriages pass beneath the soaring towers of St. Mary's Basilica. Explore the Kazimierz district, once the center of Jewish life in the city, now a vibrant cultural mosaic of galleries, street art, and atmospheric bars. Visit the historic cloth hall for local crafts, or follow the cobblestones to Wawel Hill, where myths and monarchs intertwine. And just beyond the city, the hauntingly beautiful Wieliczka salt mine offers a glimpse into a subterranean world carved by human hands over centuries. In 2025, Krakow unveils a new generation of cultural experiences. Augmented reality walking tours now bring hidden stories to life through your phone, while the city's acclaimed Night of Museums has expanded into a month-long series of after-dark exhibitions, performances, and open-air screenings. Krakow is not a city you simply visit. It's a city you listen to, a quiet conversation between past and present, echoing through courtyards and cathedrals. And in 2025, it speaks more clearly than ever. Destination 4, Valencia, Spain. In Valencia, time folds in unexpected ways. One moment you're wandering through Roman ruins. The next, you're standing before a building that looks like it belongs to the future. This is a city that refuses to be just one thing, and in doing so, becomes unforgettable. Situated on Spain's sun-kissed southeastern coast, Valencia is where tradition and innovation hold hands beneath a Mediterranean sky. It's a city with ancient roots, once a Roman colony, later a Moorish stronghold, that has grown into a forward-looking hub of design, sustainability, and cultural rebirth. What makes Valencia visually striking is this beautiful duality. The old town is a maze of honey-colored stone and flowering balconies, while just beyond its boundaries, the city of arts and sciences rises like a dream in glass and white steel. Begin your experience in the heart of the old city with a visit to the Central Market, one of Europe's largest and most colorful, where local vendors sell everything from golden saffron to fresh horchata. Wander through the Gothic beauty of La Lonja de la Seda, then stroll the length of the Toria Gardens, winding its way like a quiet ribbon through the city. In 2025, Valencia steps into the spotlight as Europe's capital of smart tourism. Expect seamless navigation via interactive kiosks and multilingual guides, eco-conscious transport routes, and immersive digital art displays woven into public spaces. Valencia doesn't ask you to choose between old and new. It invites you to embrace both. And in 2025, it stands as a shining example of how a city can honor its past, something extraordinary. Destination 5, Ghent, Belgium. There are cities that charm you instantly. And then there are cities like Ghent, quiet at first, but slowly revealing layers of beauty, soul, and story until you find yourself completely captivated. Nestled between Brussels and Bruges, Ghent often lingers under the radar. Yet those who wander its medieval streets quickly discover one of Europe's best-kept secrets, a city where rivers mirror Gothic spires. Visually, Ghent is a masterpiece in motion. Canals weave through the heart of the city like silver threads, bordered by stepped gable guild houses painted in earthy hues. The three towers of St. Nicholas Church, the Belfry, and St. Bavo's Cathedral form a timeless skyline. Begin your journey in the Gralle, the city's most picturesque quay, where you can sip coffee or Belgian beer as sunlight dances on the water. Then step into St. Bavo's Cathedral to stand before the Van Eyck brothers' luminous masterpiece, the Adoration of the Mystic Lamb, now newly restored and more radiant than ever. In 2025, Ghent continues its quiet revolution in sustainability and culture. Look out for the Light Festival returning with breathtaking, immersive installations that illuminate Ghent's canals and facades like a dream. Again doesn't clamor for your attention. It earns it gently. Through camellit evenings along the Lea River, through echoes of choral music in ancient chapels, through the simple joy of discovering a place that feels utterly timeless. Destination 6. Bergen, Norway. Some cities feel like they were carved from the landscape itself, as if nature whispered their blueprints into the wind. Bergen is one of those rare places. Cradled by 7 mountains and laced with fjords, it's a city where every window frames a painting and every breath feels like a return to something deeper. Located on Norway's rugged western coast, Bergen is often called the gateway to the fjords. But it is more than a starting point. It is a destination of its own, where Norse legends meet coastal charm and the dramatic beauty of the land shapes daily life. What makes Bergen visually arresting is its interplay of color and weather. The bright wooden houses of Bergen, painted in warm reds and ochres, glowing against the misty blues of harbor and sky. These Hanseatic-era buildings, now a UNESCO World Heritage Site, line the old wharf and seem to lean slightly forward, as if bowing to time itself. Begin with a stroll along Bergen, where boutiques and galleries now fill former merchant houses. Take the Floibenen funicular to the top of Mount Floyen, where panoramic views unfold like something from myth. In 2025, Bergen is amplifying its connection to nature through a series of eco-forward projects. A new fleet of electric fjord ferries allows for silent, emission-free journeys deep into the wilderness. And the city's renowned Bergen International Festival, marking its 75th anniversary this year, a celebration of art and nature as one. Bergen invites you not just to explore, but to listen to the hush of falling rain, the call of distant gulls, the rustle of wind through pines. It's not just a city. It's a breath, a pause, a reminder that beauty often lives in stillness. Destination 7. Ljubljana, Slovenia. Imagine a city where time slows down to the rhythm of a winding river, where bicycles glide through tree-lined boulevards, and where dragons rest quietly on bridges. This is Ljubljana, Slovenia's graceful capital and one of Europe's most peaceful urban treasures. Cradled between the Alps and the Adriatic Sea, Ljubljana is modest in size but vast in soul. Influenced by Central European elegance and Balkan warmth, it feels at once timeless and young, ancient and quietly inventive. Its name, derived from Ljubljana, meaning beloved, speaks to the kind of affection this city so effortlessly inspires. What sets Ljubljana apart visually is its harmony. Along the emerald green Ljubljana River, pastel buildings reflect in calm waters. Bridges, each with its own character, the romantic Triple Bridge, the mythic Dragon Bridge, connect a city center that has remained largely car-free for over a decade. Stroll through Prešeren Square, where music often echoes under the Baroque facades. Explore the Central Market, a symphony of color and scent, designed by famed architect Jos Plečnik, whose vision gives Ljubljana its unique architectural rhythm. In 2025, Ljubljana continues its reign as one of Europe's greenest capitals. This year, the city also celebrates 150 years since the birth of Plečnik, with exhibitions, walking tours, and immersive digital installations honoring his visionary legacy. Ljubljana doesn't overwhelm. It soothes. It whispers. It invites you to walk slowly, to notice more, to breathe in beauty without effort. And in 2025, its gentle charm shines more brightly than ever. Destination 8. Tallinn, Estonia. Tallinn feels like a city caught between the pages of a medieval fairy tale and the screens of a digital future. Walled and winding, yet quietly innovative, Estonia's capital is a place where ancient turrets rise over tech startups and time bends with grace. Perched on the shores of the Baltic Sea, Tallinn blends centuries of influence, from Danish and Germanic roots to Russian and Scandinavian layers, into something wholly its own. Its old town is among the best preserved in Europe, yet just beyond the cobbled lanes, sleek glass towers reflect a country at the forefront of digital innovation. Visually, Tallinn is a city of contrast. From the hilltop lookout at Toompea, red rooftops tumble down toward the harbor like a painter's composition, broken only by the spires of Gothic churches. Lantern-lit alleys curve past merchant houses and medieval walls. Begin your journey in the Old Town, where every step feels storied. Wander through the historic Town Hall Square, climb the tower of St. Olaf's Church for panoramic views, and follow the winding streets to hidden courtyards alive with local craft and quiet conversation. Then make your way to Teleskivi Creative City, a former factory district now home to studios, and one of the most dynamic food scenes in the Baltics. In 2025, Tallinn is making headlines for its blend of heritage and high-tech. The city's Smart Streets initiative, integrating augmented signage, multilingual guides, and real-time navigation for pedestrians, makes it easier than ever to explore with intention. And this year marks the opening of the Baltic Sea Art Biennale, with major exhibits housed in Tallinn's historic Noblessner seafront. Tallinn doesn't just preserve its past, it converses with it. And in 2025, it invites you to discover a new kind of magic, one that bridges centuries in a single stroll. Destination 9. Matera, Italy. There are places where history stands still, and others where it sleeps inside the stone. Matera is the latter, an ancient city sculpted from rock, where cave dwellings glow with golden light and silence feels sacred. Tucked away in the southern region of Basilicata, Matera is one of the world's oldest continuously inhabited cities. For centuries, it was overlooked and underestimated. What makes Matera visually unique is its otherworldly texture. The city appears almost organic, a labyrinth of tunnels, terraces, and stone-carved churches, rising from the earth as if grown rather than built. Begin your journey in the Sasso Cavioso district, where homes carved into cliffs offer a living timeline of human adaptation. Visit the rock-hewn churches, like Santa Maria de Idris, where frescoes emerge from the walls themselves. In 2025, Matera expands its cultural offerings beyond imagination. A new underground museum system connects the Sassi with immersive exhibits that trace the city's prehistoric and medieval roots using subtle projections and soundscapes. The Open Roof Festival returns with film screenings and concerts staged within the ancient caves, blending cinema, acoustics, and history into one unforgettable atmosphere. Matera is more than a destination, it's a descent into memory. A place where the past hasn't been erased or restored, but embraced, weathered, and woven into every step. In 2025, it's quieter than the tourist-heavy cities and more powerful because of it. Destination 10. Edinburgh, Scotland. Some cities tell their stories in chapters. Edinburgh sings them in stone, wind, and shadow, a city that rises from volcanic rock, cloaked in mist, steeped in myth, and alive with intellect. Nestled between the hills and the sea on Scotland's eastern coast, Edinburgh is a city of dramatic contrasts. Its skyline is a tapestry of Gothic spires, Georgian symmetry, and green crags that seem pulled from folklore. What makes Edinburgh visually arresting is its verticality. The Old Town, with its narrow closes and hidden stairways, climbs to the formidable Edinburgh Castle, perched atop Castle Rock like a watchful guardian. Below, the new town unfurls in orderly elegance, its neoclassical beauty a striking counterbalance. Begin your exploration along the Royal Mile, where the scent of old paper wafts from bookshops and bagpipes echo from alleyways. Tour the castle at sunset, when its stone glows with quiet majesty. In 2025, Edinburgh deepens its cultural legacy. The Festival Fringe, the world's largest art celebration, embraces new interactive formats and augmented reality performances, bringing storytelling into unexpected corners of the city. This year also marks the unveiling of a climate-resilient green corridor stretching from Holyrood Park to the Botanic Garden, creating an urban oasis that's both beautiful and vital. Edinburgh doesn't demand to be seen. It asks to be felt, in the weight of its history, the warmth of its voices, the chill of a breeze brushing across the moors. In 2025, more than ever, it remains a city that stirs something deep and stays with you long after you've left. The world is wide, but wonder narrows the distance. From the sun-washed streets of Valencia to the mist-veiled rooftops of Edinburgh, from fjords to fortresses, cathedrals to cliffs, each city we've explored whispers its own invitation.
To pause, to breathe,
To see differently. In 2025, travel is no longer just about the places we visit, it's about the moments we gather along the way. It's the quiet of a Ljubljana riverbank at dusk, the golden silence of Matera at dawn, the taste of something unfamiliar, yet comforting, in a Tallinn cafe, the stories held in Ghent stones, or reflected in Bergen's fjord. These aren't just destinations. They are experiences that reshape us, gently, deeply, and forever. So whether your next journey is already planned or still a dream, may this film serve as a reminder. The world is full of beauty, waiting not just to be seen, but to be felt.
pack lightly.
Wander widely, and carry wonder wherever you go. Until next time, stay curious.